السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Physiologic functions of thyroid hormones. Thyroid hormones increase cellular metabolic activity and increase oxygen consumption. That means thyroid hormones increase the basal metabolic rate 60 to 100% above normal. Due to utilization of food to provide energy also accelerate. Rate of protein synthesis increase. Growth rate activity also increase. Excitement of mental process. Increase the activity of other glands, other endocrine glands. That due to increase the activity of mitochondria and increase transport rate of ions, sodium and potassium ions, via sodium potassium ATPase pump. This is very important pump in the cells. Effect of thyroid hormones on the cardiovascular system. As you see, increase of the activity of this system. Increase heart rate, increase contraction of the heart, increase stroke volume and cardiac output, and upregulate of catecholamine receptors. So, thyroid hormone causes the increased activity of almost of the cardiovascular system. Also, when we're talking about the respiratory system, thyroid hormone causes increased resting respiratory rate, increased mid-ventilation, increased ventilatory response to hypercapnia and hypoxia. That means they increase the activity or the process of the inspiration and expiration, especially when we're talking about there is a response to hypercapnia, increase of carbon dioxide, or hypoxia, decrease of oxygen. That means increase inspiration of oxygen. That occurs in case of oxygen consumption, decrease of oxygen consumption in the blood. Effect of thyroid hormones on the renal system. Also increase of this system, activity of this system. Increase blood flow and GFR, glomerular filtration rate. That means the process of excretion of ions and materials to outside increase, and reabsorption for some materials also increase under control of thyroid hormone. Effect of thyroid hormones on growth and tissue development. Increase growth and maturation of the bone, increase tooth development and eruption, increase growth and maturation of epidermis, hair follicles, and nails, increase rate and force of skeletal muscle contraction, inhibits synthesis and increases degradation of mucopolysaccharides in subcut tissues. As you see, there is increasing and the development and increasing the growth of all parts of the body. That's why we, in the first lecture, when we said, for example, of general effect hormone is TSH, thyroid hormones, because they have an effect on the different types of the body, different organs and different tissues and different systems in the body. And the effect of these hormones, the T3 and T4 hormones, increase the activity of the most of the body functions. When we're talking about the oxygen carrying capacity, the effect of thyroid hormones is increase red blood cell mass, increase oxygen dissociation from hemoglobin. That means providing lots of oxygen, either via the effect of thyroid hormone on respiratory rate by increased taking of oxygen by ventilation, or via increase the RBC number and increase the oxygen dissociation to provide oxygen to the tissues. Effect of thyroid hormones on intermediary metabolism: increase glucose absorption from GIT, increased carbohydrate, lipid, and protein turnover, that means increase in source of energy in the blood, downregulate insulin receptors, almost decrease the activity of insulin, increase substrate availability, and provide substrate very important to production of energy, mean increase energy in the blood in the body by the effect of thyroid hormone from all the source, protein, carbohydrate, and fat. All of them can work in increasing something by the control of thyroid hormones. Effect of thyroid hormones on the nervous system. What happened in the nervous system? One, critical for normal CNS in neural development, enhances wakefulness and alertness, enhance memory and learning capacity, required for normal emotional tone, and increase speed and amplitude of peripheral nervous reflexes. That means excitement of CNS and PNS, excitement of nervous system, excitement of wakefulness. Person became under the control or under the effect of thyroid hormones became more excitement or more alertness, more wake up. And that means the response to any effect will be fast. Effect of thyroid hormones on the reproductive system. Required for normal follicular development and ovulation in the female, and required for normal maintenance of pregnancy, and required for normal spermatogenesis in the male. So these hormones, T3 and T4, are very, very important for continuous of reproductive system. They are very important for continuous of production of ovum and production of sperms and maintenance of pregnancy to reach the perfect case. Regulation of thyroid hormone secretion. In some slide previous, we're talking about the effect of thyroid hormones, thyroxine and triiodothyronine on the body, and we see their importance in the most systems of the body. And these hormones cause excitement, cause production, more production of the body, cause more activity, more awakeness and alertness and response to the environment, and upregulate of the most of the processes in the body. So how can these hormones production, how can these hormones secretion by any way? So we can regulate of these hormones secretion by specific feedback mechanism. When the rate of thyroid hormone secretion rises to 1.75 times normal, that leads to rate of TSH secretion fall to 0. It is probable that increased thyroid hormone inhibit the anterior pituitary secretion of TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, mainly by direct effects of anterior pituitary gland itself. That means we're talking about negative feedback mechanism. If TRH, thyroid releasing hormone secreted from hypothalamus that affect on TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, in anterior pituitary glands. This hormone also, in response to TRH, will secrete it to affect on thyroid gland. So by TSH, thyroid gland will secrete T4 and T3. When these two hormones became high levels, high concentrated in the blood, negative feedback will be occurs to affect on the anterior pituitary glands to stopping or decrease secretion of TSH. So T3 and T4 regulated by the effect of TSH secretion or inhibition of secretion from TRH by negative feedback mechanism. Antithyroid substances. Drugs that suppress thyroid secretion called antithyroid substances. We have many substances such as thiocyanate. Thiocyanate ions decrease iodide trapping. That means decrease of iodide in the thyroid gland. That means decrease the connection or attachment of iodide with the tyrosine to provide T3 and T4. Finally, there is no production of T3 and T4 from globulin, thyroglobulin. Propylthiouracil mechanism of this material partly block peroxidase enzyme that is required for iodination of tyrosine. If there is enough amount of iodide to attachment with tyrosine, we need a special enzyme called peroxidase. So propylthiouracil act on this enzyme, make it block or inactive. In this case, we have lots of iodide and enough amount or quantities of thyroglobulin, but the connection between them will not occur because the enzyme that very important, necessary for this attachment, become inactive by this drug. So there is decrease or no production of T3 and T4, and finally anti-thyroid effect. High concentration of inorganic iodide, reduced rate of iodide trapping, and paralysis of normal endocytosis of colloid. So when there is a high concentration of inorganic iodide, that may trapping of iodide will be decreased, okay, and the process of endocytosis that take thyroglobulin from colloid of follicle and the thyroid gland will not occur, so that there is no production of the T3 and T4. Diseases of thyroid glands. We have two types, in general, two types of thyroid glands. Disease of thyroid glands. Hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism. We can talking in the next slide about each of them. Hyperthyroidism. Symptoms of hyperthyroidism: high state of excitability. Person become more excitement, more than normal. Tolerance to heat, feeling with cold and heat faster than normal. Increased sweating, mild to extreme weight loss. That different with the severity of the disease. Varying degree of diarrhea and muscle weakness. Person feeling with tired most of the day. Nervousness and feeling with fatigue, but unable to sleep. He wants to sleep, but he's unable. He can't. tremor of the hands, and exophthalmos. Exophthalmos mean, as occur in this figure, as you see to the eye, look at the eye, normal. This woman suffered from hyperthyroidism. After treatment, the eye become normal. So exophthalmos mean protruding of the eye from its side. Okay, that mean exophthalmos. Sorry. The other disease of thyroid gland, hypothyroidism. When we talking of hyperthyroidism, that means secretion of T3 and T4 more than normal from thyroid gland. But hypothyroidism, there is deficiency in secretion or production of T3 and T4 from thyroid gland. Hypothyroidism often associated with the development of large thyroid gland called thyroid goiter. Endemic colloid goiter caused by dietary iodide deficiency. Idiopathic non-toxic colloid goiter. Two types of thyroid goiter. So hypothyroidism occurs when there is decrease of T3 and T4, and that may be occurred due to decrease of iodide, or there is nervous disease. We have two types, myxedema in adults and cretinism in children. Both of them have the same symptoms, but one occurs in the adult and others in the children. Cretinism caused by extreme hypothyroidism during fetal life, infancy, or childhood. This condition characterized by especially failure of the body to growth by mental retardation, result from congenital lack of thyroid gland, congenital cretinism, or failure of thyroid gland to produce thyroid hormone for any defect, genetic defect in the gland, or decrease of iodine lack in the diet, excretion of iodine more than reabsorption from the intestine. That means decrease of iodide in the blood and occur of endemic cretinism. So when there is a decrease in thyroid gland, that means the blood or body need more thyroid hormone. For it's very important, as you see in the previous slides. Thyroid hormone is very important for the most of the body functions. So the gland try to production more and more of T3 and T4 that lead or that make this gland large the cell size, its cell size. For this reason, the size of a gland will become more than normal, become swelling because hypertrophy of the cells for production more كمحاولة منها لإنتاج more and more of T3 and T4. For this reason, as you see, there is this figure is not clear. In the neck there is swelling because enlargement of the gland, and the body the signs of this hypothyroidism you can read it by this figure. Both signs can occur in the two types of thyroid glands, in myxedema or cretinism in children, myxedema in adult, of course, and causes may occur due to these causes. That's what I want to talk about thyroid gland. Thank you so much.